Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magickal. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs at Pokey-Oaks. To my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dope. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I take my keys to go home. Didn't say I was done. Why rush to end it all? It feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can think of a thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun? Or sold my soul for the tongue? Or dead since I was young? Or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace, and many blessings. Greetings, shalom, what's up? How y'all doing today? I am Magic LaCroix, or Magic LaCroix, however way you want to say it. Both ways are valid. Today is Thursday, March 6th in the year 2025, so they say. Today is the day of Thursday, day of Jupiter. Abundance, prosperity. Most people do their money rituals on this particular day. So get those money rituals in. The colors are either purple or blue to align with the energies of Jupiter. A great book to have, a modern day grimoire to have. It's called Financial Sorcery by Jason Miller. Okay. If you don't have that one, I advise to get that one. I've never seen it on PDF, but I think I will look, see if I can find it. What's up, Legacy Sigma? How you doing today, brother? What's the deal? What you working on? Okay. Also, like I was saying on the last live, just celebrated 18th birthday, 18th anniversary. 18th anniversary of the missus. I meant to share some pictures with y'all, of me and her that we took on that day. Let me see. I can bring it up here. That is me and her. That's an older picture. But yeah. Oh, wrong thing. That's one of my inappropriate memes. This is the brunch that we had. It is totally worth it. It was an expensive ass restaurant that we went to, and it was a birthday. I keep saying birthday, anniversary brunch that we had there, So that was, I am mistaken. I know we should get off eating meat, but I am a steak and egg fan, and that steak was nice and huge. Now we paid for it. It was expensive, but it was worth it. It really was. What you see her eating is shrimp and grits. Plus, I think she has some fried green tomatoes. So yeah, it was great. All right. And that we ended up at the end of the night at a friend of ours' retirement and birthday party. I caught her off guard here. She didn't know I took this picture till afterwards. But that is her in front of our house. I kept snapping pictures of her all day. That was a very magical day, and that's her eating, at that same restaurant. It's an upper class, so to speak, restaurant. It only opens on the weekends, and they have an armed security guard out front. Okay. So enough of that sharing. Happy Jupiter Day. Absolutely. Oh, you're doing Vedic Durga. Wow. There's a name I haven't seen in a while. A lot of people don't really know about Durga. Supposedly she is either the younger sister of who is she the younger sister of? Kali. Either she's the younger sister or she's just another manifestation of Callie. That's what's up. Divine peace and greetings, Caribbean Grimoire. How's the brother doing today? Imhotep. Haven't seen that name in a while. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Miss Tosh, congratulations. Happy anniversary. And I thank you for those sentiments. Okay. Speaking of the missus, she sent me something. I just saw it. I think I want to share it with y'all too. This is nothing, that has anything to do with us, but I think she's trying to be funny. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, I can. I'll pull this up and you can see for yourself. I thought it was funny. I'm sharing stuff on Facebook all day, every day, pretty much. So it's called Who Would Eat My Cookies?
By Kenzie Mazing. I have a delicious cookie. It's so tasty and sweet. But who will eat my cookie? Who will get my treat? Johnny, will you eat my cookie? I'm begging you, please. Sorry, Susie, but I can't. Would you quit asking me? Jeez. Susie continues walking, looking for someone new. And soon enough, she spots him. Look, it's Mr. Pugh. Mr. Pugh, do you like cookies? Mine's the best you'll have in your life. Thanks, Susie. It does look good, but I only eat my wife's. Poor Susie is so sad. What's wrong with her cookie? Surely someone wants to eat it. It's not like she's a rookie. Susie spots Sarah Johnson, the high school gym teacher. Surely she'll eat my cookie. She stops by the bleachers. Sarah, look at my cookie. Isn't it so pretty? Do you want to eat it? I promise you'll feel giddy. Sorry, Susie, but no can do. Sweets aren't my thing. If you got a roast beef sandwich, then you can give me a ring. Oh, look, it's Neil. He's the nicest guy. Surely he'll eat my cookie. It's definitely worth a try. Hey, Neil, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Do you want to eat my cookie? It's really just swell. Hey, Susie, thanks for asking. Your cookie looks so sweet. But I'm sorry to tell you this, though, but all I eat is meat. Then Susie sees Mr. Jim. She greets him and says hi. Hi, Mr. Jim. Will you eat my cookie? You're such a nice guy. No thanks, Susie. I'm sure your cookie's lit, but I'm not a fan of vanilla. I only eat chocolate. Susie starts to cry. She can't believe her luck. No one wants her cookie. It must really suck. Then along comes Andy Green, the city's engineer. He takes one look at Susie and dries up all her tears. What's the matter, Susie? Why are you so upset? I'm here for you now. There's no reason to fret. No one will eat my cookie, Andy. I don't understand why. It's so sweet and tasty. I wish someone would give it a try. Susie, I'll eat your cookie. Why didn't you just say so? I love eating cookies. I would never tell you no. This story is dedicated to all the cookie eaters out there. You're the best.
So take from that what you will. We know it's not about cookies. I just thought I would share that though. Miss Tosh. Okay. Lavetta Davis. Welcome and thank you. Thank you, Caribbean Grimoire. You had a few visitations with Durga. She saved your ass. One of the students that just went through the sex magic class summoned successfully a succubus and said he had the time of his life for about a week. You know what I mean? So sex magic. Yeah. Durga though, I need to ask, what did she look like? How did she present herself? What's up, Brother Moore? What's going on? What's up, Bobby L? Peace. What's the deal? We're almost at the weekend. Peace. Hip Hop Elevation. What's the deal? We are at the weekend. Like I was saying earlier, the colors are purple and blue. If you're going to do money rituals today, I have on a sort of purple shirt, but Financial Sorcery by Jason Miller. If you're going to align with the spirits. So hopefully, my goal for this channel was for people to build off my experiences, to see, where they're at, and if this is the path that they want to choose, because this, now more than ever, and I know I say that a lot, but now more than ever, this is so needed, in the community, in the Black community, in the melanated community, or whatever you want to call it. It is so needed. You know what I mean? Instead of just putting it in the hands of God or gods or whoever, we need more people. You know what I mean? Just with a sense of urgency, more people need to return to our roots and get with this magic. Day 369, that's what's up. What's up? Peace, Michael Surratt. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please correct me. You've been utilizing the money magic advice here. Now I've been day trading, thusly have a new income stream. Congratulations to Bobby L. I know that is great, but that is something I think you really need skills to get into that. So if you're having a positive day trading, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Of course, putting magic behind anything work out well. Putting magic behind anything. You know what I mean? Whether it is day trading, whether it's your job, anything. Magical knowledge is power. See what I'm saying? Go to where do we start? What I was saying the other day, it's because I can't go a day. I can't go a day without seeing some form of oppression in the form of racism and the system that's built up. And I see people just being subjected to it. It didn't work for you? Really? Did you do it on a waning moon on a Tuesday at midnight? You did it then and it didn't work? I've been learning from YouTube guy Chris Sane. Never heard of him, but I will look him up if you think it's worth me checking him out. Salute for the level up. Day trading was super confusing to me. You gotta have a particular skill set in order to day trade. They showed a little bit of it. What was the name of that movie? Bradley Cooper, Limitless. That's what he was doing. He was day trading. And since he has opened up his mind to his fullest potential, is how he could be so successful. He got rich off of that. Have you ever used it? No, but I've heard of it, but I've never personally used it. I think that's an African herb, if I'm not mistaken. It's an African herb, an African dream herb. Am I correct? I was talking about day trading. Oh, you was talking about day trading. Okay, my bad. I read it wrong there. My bad. Yeah, it's something. It looks like it's a whole lot of math. And I'm not going to say luck, but you need to know what you're doing as far as day trading. Using my magic to start a clothing business and pod shop. Okay. Like I said, if you put magic behind anything, it's just about guaranteed to work. You got nothing to lose. Hello, Moonchild. What's up? It is correct. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So yeah, I think we still are slaves to a whole lot of stuff. I know I may make some people uncomfortable when I speak about the system and how it's run by racism, but I mean, it's not going anywhere, and it hasn't went anywhere. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, see what Bobby has to say about this. Just give me a second. Give me a second. This one. All right. Just a second. I'm almost there. Here we go.
People go into them. I have to disagree in the aspect that some of this shit is irrational. But then again, it was not when he was making the statement. Because some of these religions was meant for a small group of people at that particular time that these things occurred. And that was their own personal liberating tool based on what situation they caught themselves into when it was formed around them.
Liberating.
About religions other than the universal mystery systems. You see what I'm saying? The top principles that's universal that predates religion. But we're talking about this context of religion, what we find ourselves stuck into today. Those religions, when they came about, was a certain social, cultural, and customary impact of a small group of people at that particular time when these particular religions rose up. But it didn't mean that the shit is relevant to us today. When you got a total different situation. And what it meant was, when those religions rose up, they weren't meant to accommodate other people years later, other races years later. You see what I'm saying? When some of this stuff is ancestral motif, it's got something to do with us. You see what I'm saying? So when these things rose up, it was for a select group of people and a social fundamental aspect with universal sprinkles, pockets of information. But now here you are far removed from them 2,000 years and thinking this shit is relevant to you. And now you make decisions that don't make no damn sense by including an enemy that is clear.
Clear.
You might not be cool of the white Muslim that you might be unclear whether he's your brother or not, but he is clear because he told you so when he started slavery in the past and slavery in the present. That the Muslim niggas don't want to deal with. They have had slavery in Saudi Arabia in the 1980s. They got slavery in Mauritania and in the Sudan going on to this day. So you gonna tell me that based on a doctrine that happened 2,000 years ago of some savage? That's right.
Look what he called them.
That the result of black people in the aspect of why they came into Islam is all negative because we came into Islam based on somebody imposing slavery on us to give us this foolishness. That's how we get it. It is about the nature of the black man. Islam is the nature of the black man and stuff like that. Well, first of all, you got to explain to me then. You got to explain to me in the previous cultures on how you're going to say that Islam is the nature of the black man, and you got to explain to me in previous cultures before that shit that the Arabs brought in there got there, you got to explain to me, or we'll be dealing with the same thing. Yes, there's motifs and different customs that the Arabs brought to us that we already had. But what I'm trying to tell you here is Islam and African spirituality, or ancient spirituality, is fundamentally different. In the particular aspect, one is the blueprint and one is the watered down model. Woo! For a savage Arab. And they were only giving you a fragment or an indication of the greatness of what happened with the black man prior to that. And it was meant for the white Arab. Wasn't meant for you. Hell, you are the embodiment of the godhood in which the damn book is talking about. You see? And we can get into the metaphysical and historical aspect on how this is. You see what I'm saying? But the point about it is you only got a fragment of what you call religion.
So I'm stopping there. And he's absolutely correct. Remember, there are esoteric versus exoteric. EXOTERIC. One is given to the masses. The other one is given to the adepts, the secret circle, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, they give Islam to the masses, and yet they'll study Sufism. Okay, they'll give Christianity to the masses, and yet they'll study Gnosticism. All right, this is how they do, and this is how they've always done. Okay, that's what he's talking about. So the African dream herb, but I've seen can be used as a talisman. It can. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. What's up? Peace, Chikezi. Preach, Bobby. Yes, indeed. Ultra Instinct. What's the deal? There are, I'm a big fan of grimoires, magical books. Okay, and one of the ones called Secrets the Gurus Will Never Show You. And I got to keep clicking off various tabs to show you this stuff. Okay. I like having Uma Tantra. Okay. Secrets the Gurus Will Never Show You. This manual is intended as a reference and a guide, but remember one thing: an ounce of practice is worth a ton of theory. Okay. And this goes for everything. I'll just highlight this point, though. The only way to really practice yoga is just to do it. Let the universe guide you and let your deepest and highest self guide you. The real guru is within. As a practitioner, your object is to guide yourself and all sentient beings to the highest peaks of consciousness and to come back down to integrate and mix the experience with your everyday life. Don't take things too seriously. Have fun and laugh a lot. Okay? It applies to magic. It absolutely does. Right? Look at those oil families in. Yes, they do. Yes, they absolutely do. They do. They work with jinn. They sure do. Okay. Even if you don't want to, work with any deities, you can work with yourself. Or, and this may sound weird, it may sound unrealistic, but you can do this. You can make your own god. One of my favorite authors is Basil Crouch. Okay. He has a book called The Making of the God and Other Works of the Black Art. The Lost Writings of Basil Crouch. Yes, he's talking about actually putting together a god. One of my favorite occult authors. The fetish. He then explains what all this is leading up to. You're now ready to construct the most powerful thing in the realms of magic, a thing that can grant all your wishes. He explains that it can both heal and destroy. It can destroy your mind and can kill you or any other living being. Remember, you were warned before you bought this book. But then no one is forcing you to proceed with these instructions. He adds that this thing can cause storms and affect any living thing. In fact, there's very little that it cannot do. He calls this the fetish, a word derived from the Portuguese fetico, sorcery, itself derived from the Latin factitious, artifice. The Portugal voyagers gave this name to the idols worshipped by the natives of the African Guinea coast, and the word to this day has remained synonymous with any image or object believed to possess magical powers. Referring to the making of a fetish, he writes, "Dare you make such a choice? Do you wish things that up until now have been impossible? You do? Then here's the doorway into realms unknown to normal humanity, a pathway to superior magic. You are never again to be asked to sit and meditate or indulge in wishful thinking. Here's the key that will unlock the gates of fortune for you." That he believed absolutely in the power of the fetish has never been in doubt, and doubtless he had good reason to. And then he goes through all kinds of preparations to actually making one, to making his own god, a fetish. You know what I mean? Some deep shit here. It really is. Look at all that. Yeah, some deep shit, some deep, dark shit as far as Basil Crouch is concerned. Brother Mad, you got an email? I look for your. Yes, my email is Oh, yes. Servitors, right there. Creating Magical Entities by David Michael Cunningham. Tibetan Buddhists are good with that. Yes, they are. So are, I'm trying to think. It's either Indonesian or it's something else. But yes. Is that a version of an egregore? Not quite. An egregore is a thought form. And it's a thought form that is created by several individuals as opposed to a servitor, which is created by one individual. But you're on the right track. Servitors and egregores. Yes, but it's in the form of a fetish. A fetish actually is an actual object. Servitors and egregores, they are thought forms. Okay? Y'all thinking the right way, but yes. That's my email right there. I was trying to tell y'all about a website with tons of books the other day, but I think I hit one of those AI triggers. Oh, okay. Sister Rice's, what's up? Peace and love. Okay. This is why, I say there's so many ways to go with this. You know what I mean? I wish people would just stop being scared of it. Okay. I really do. Yes. And he is one of my favorite occult authors. I kind of put my name because of all this shit. He has another book called Dark Side of the Moon, but the other one's called Forbidden something. The Forbidden Knowledge. Forbidden Knowledge. Deep, dark shit. One of my favorite books. One of my very first occult books. I don't think you can really call it occult. It's not really that. It's called The Finding of the Third Eye. Vera Stanley Alder. And in this, you will find basic knowledge, basic esoteric knowledge. How we are made, how we are classified, male and female, birth, sleep, and death, secrets of breeding, secrets of color, secrets of sound, the science of numbers, diet and exercise. First steps to mastery, meditation, and so on and so on. But what I wanted to show y'all today, how we are made. The physical plane includes solids, liquid, gases, and the ethers, of which we are told there are 4. That totals up to 7 states of matter, which go to make up the densest or chemical expression of life called the physical plane. We must remember that these states of matter are mostly able to interpenetrate each other, as we saw in chapter 1. The physical plane includes, of course, our solar system with its solids, gases, and chemical rays. Now, the ancient wisdom teaches that life is made up of 7 planes or states of matter, of which the physical plane is only one. The densest, or in wireless parlance, the one of lowest frequency. The planes are neither above nor below one another, but interpenetrating. Those which we think of as above being a higher frequency from the standpoint of vibrations. Bear in mind that all these things are very difficult to put into words. Excuse me. The next of the 7 planes is called the astral world. It is called by some the desire world, as it is the sphere of emotions or desires. It contains the substance that stirs or motivates us. It is the world of attraction and repulsion. Everything physical has its counterpart in astral substance, so that a man wandering in his astral body can see chairs and tables, or rather their astral counterparts. The counterparts of physical things are made up of the lowest and densest stratum of the astral material, whereas the counterparts of thoughts and feelings are made up of the subtle and malleable kind of astral stuff. This has been described by clairvoyants as a moving and shimmering kaleidoscope of swiftly interchanging colors. The astral world is therefore almost impossible to visualize by anyone who has not been able to see it, but a vague idea of it can be attained by the study of the various descriptions given to us by clairvoyants of all times. This book goes into a whole bunch of stuff. The astral world is the world wherein the fourth dimension is to be found and understood. If you can imagine having eyes that see right through everything in all directions at once, you are visualizing your condition when functioning in the astral world. Like I've always said, you will know when you are on the astral plane. Okay. It feels more real than real. You can see in every direction at one time. You know what I mean? You can fly and you can do all that other kind of shit. I love your show, Magickal. How deep shit. Explain the Saudi using gins. What's up, Derek Rutherspoon? And thank you for the sentiments. There's a book called, as a matter of fact, if you want to know about jinn, I suggest Terrain Hicks, the Dark Lord. He goes into jinn a lot, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily go into jinn a lot. But there's a book by Maximilien de Lafayette that goes into it, you know. But like I said, if you check out Terrain Hicks, he goes into jinn a lot. It's kind of complicated, but not quite. You know, use at your own risk, call it jinn. You know what I'm saying? But I think the last show that I saw Terrains, he was talking about jinn societies. He goes into a lot, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. One of the books I was reading was Damon Brand's Angel book, and it referenced the NAP in it and where some of the practices stem from. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Damon Brand is, like I said, it's for the beginner. You were teaching me how to fly in the astral plane using the word Amen. Oh, okay. Egyptian magic goes into that a lot too. When you are in the astral realm, are you awake beyond a regular dream? Yeah, it's hard. It really is hard to explain. It's something you really got to experience when you're in the astral plane. It's really something you got to experience. You know a lot more. You're more aware. Everything is bright and just, it's really hard to explain. And I'm not trying to dodge a question. It really is hard to explain. But that's the best way I can put it. One of the ways that I do is I say I am on the astral plane during the day. I do that during the day several times, just when I randomly think about it. That way at night, if I'm actually dreaming, I'll say you are on the astral plane, and then everything becomes possible. I can fly up in the air. I can go have sex with somebody or whatever. Yes. Like a lucid dream. Yes, it's really, really hard to explain. I promise you, I'm not trying to dodge the question. I'm really not. It's just really hard to explain. It's something you really have to experience. Speaking of terrain, y'all remember this from when we did our show together. This was not too long ago.
You have something in ancient martial arts. You have something that we call star stepping.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And a gate might be a star. I'm gonna just say that.
Right. And you got people out here who still don't believe in any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, we working against the resistance, you know, just by bringing up this information, because there's other information out there that's totally against what we're talking about. A lot of people think, oh, it's all in your mind. It's all you. All you need is you. You know what I mean? Yeah, at a certain point, yeah. But if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to do good into a magical system and thinking, oh, it's all me, I don't need any of this stuff, you're gonna fail. Period. You are absolutely gonna fail.
Yeah,
you know
I think a good portion of that was Brother Panic's approach. And I think some of that was incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Even with Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? I think they consistently was against initiation, and they had a mentality of
Our hotel is the
my
best
bad,
in the
y'all.
world. At the end of the week,
I
you will
expect
be
that to
an
happen.
it's all inside of you.
Right.
And not with interdimensional travel.
Right.
in intergalactic affairs.
Right. Right.
That's a different operation.
Right.
For spiritual ascension, yes, a lot of that is within. But
Right.
we're talking about something that literally opens up different worlds. And I think that's where the debate is. The people
Yeah.
who haven't been into other dimensions
Right.
tangibly
Right.
debating against people who have been into other worlds.
Right. 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 Brilliantly said. Brilliantly said. I sometimes look at Bobby Hemmett, you know, that's why I tell people listen to all advice, but follow your own. You know what I mean? And nobody's the end all be all, but you know, I can't say, more about than what you just said. All right. So that was last year when me and Terrain had a get together again. No, I haven't, to be quite honest, but I promise you I will get to it. I really will get to it. Peace. Demarius Gray, what's up? No fan of panic? Okay. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have someone you resonate with versus, I mean, if you've watched me for any length of time, you know what my deal was with him. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said on that clip, listen to all advice, follow your own. Okay. Regarding Norse mythology mentioned here, I recently learned the major arcana, the hangman is like Odin hanging from, I still don't know how to say that word, the world tree, in order to gain gnosis from other worlds. Wow. You always come with it, Bobby. I appreciate you, brother. For real. I am on season 3 of The Last Kingdom, a one series that my son heavily suggested, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. After this, I will be going to Vikings Valhalla. This one actually goes more into the magic of it shows a little more magic in the Viking era. Okay, it shows a little more of that. But yeah, we went into that the other day, though. Another good book that y'all should have, that you absolutely should have, and I know for a fact that Bobby, I think Brother Panic, and I believe Azazel Bay all recommended this particular book. If you are a beginner, you should have this book. It's called The Magician. It's by Philip Cooper. Okay, a study in effective magic. Right? Magic that's the first chapter. Magic is the ultimate science. The magical temple of psychic laboratory, the magical mind, the guides within, and so on and so on. Who does not know where to start, yet the information is also of value to the long-suffering student who cannot make sense out of the conflicting mumbo-jumbo presented as magic. This book is practical on all levels. It is a perfect blend of practical and esoteric magical practices starting from first principles. I will try to help you find latent talents to help you become aware of your true potential and show you how to understand magic and how to use it in this day and age. Everything you will need to complete your studies is contained here, other than equipment, and you will not need to spend a fortune on this. The amount of equipment used is entirely up to each student. Some prefer to have a lot, others use very little. In all cases, you'll be shown how to select and use equipment correctly and how to make use of everyday items, thereby saving money. You may decide to practice the techniques without using any equipment. The choice is left entirely to each individual. Keep going. The system of magic authored within is original and workable, which is very important. It has to be workable. It has to be practical. The principles are universal. That is, they apply to everyone. You are not asked to subscribe to unworkable ideas and dogmas or give up anything other than unreality. The whole idea is to give you as many ideas as possible. And the important thing is not to just accept ideas because they are told to you, and equally not to reject them because they do not appear to equate to what you already know. The whole point of the study is to learn to think for yourself so you can make your own decisions, because in the final analysis, the only magical system that will work for you is your own. Okay? This book is about magic. True magic will help you understand the subject, work out your own rituals, and use magic as it's meant to be used as an aid to a better life and an understanding of that life. Contemporary study of magical subjects confuses novices and practitioners alike because it contains a number of outmoded rules and superstitions that do nothing for the art and science of magic. True magic is not complicated. Magic belongs to anyone who wishes to use it. True magic comes from within the individual, not from some initiate or secret society. After all, who initiated the first initiate? Magic is a highly individual and personal creative process, and to be effective, each individual must formulate his or her own inner temple, contact his or her power source, and work magic in his or her own way. It is not dressing up in brightly covered robes, chanting strange incantations, or collecting grades and titles. This may flatter the ego and be of limited use in some cases, but it is not magic. Pathworking and meditation are not magic. They are tools, aids. So what is magic? Magic, true magic, is the art of using controlled thought to produce a result. If you doubt this, then ask yourself, why are you interested in magic, or why do you involve yourself with it? That is The Magician, Philip Cooper. It's a great book. It's a great starting point. Must have book. Yes, it is. Must have book. Don't forget the ones that I showed you the other day is called Chinese Taoist Sorcery. Again, if you never heard me say this before, I'll say it again. Taoism is a great system, but it's so complicated, even just to make a talisman. And as you just read along with me, magic is not supposed to be complicated. People make it complicated so that they can, charge you for stuff. It's been so watered down. There's so many scammers out there. You have to find out who's real, who isn't. Discernment, people. Discernment. And you see what it says here about calling the devil. When an evil sorcerer requires help in his black magic rituals, he invokes the presence of demons. He does this by using red and black thread to embroider the name of the devil or any other helpful demon on a piece of cloth. The embroidery is done at night in an open space under the stars. Once completed, he makes triangular flags out of the embroidered cloth and places them around the altar. This method of hexing is known as stringing the needle, is effective when casting spells against particularly dangerous enemies. It is also employed by girls who want to catch and marry elusive lovers. Victims find the effects of embroidered spells very difficult to resist. The art of getting even, Min Zhu. Okay. And I always got to do this. This is solely for entertainment purposes, educational purposes. I bear no responsibility for anyone who tries or does use any of the techniques that I show here, and the spells and your rituals. It is solely your responsibility. Use discernment, use common sense. Okay? Regarding latent talents, light was part of a dream, I recall. Light warns you you'll lose your house, and the answer you need is beneath your hat. I paid an overdue HOA fee plus know how to re-up. That's what's up. What's up, Legend Archer? What's going on? The dream dictionary used was the Rosicrucian Dream Book by Pascal Beverly Randolph. I have read out of that book here quite a few times. It is a great book. Don't forget also Cosmic Comics by Azazel Bay is now available. I made it available in PDF form. Okay. It is available on my Patreon. You don't have to be a member of my Patreon in order to get the book, to purchase and download it. Okay. Here's just a few pages from Cosmic Comics. We don't see the sun 8 minutes in the past. We actually see the past of everything in space. The further an object is from us, the longest light takes to reach us, since the speed of light is finite and the distance in space are really big. Sunlight travels at the speed of light. Photons emitted from the surface of the sun need to travel across the vacuum of space to reach our eyes. The short answer is that it takes sunlight an average of 8 minutes and 20 seconds to travel from the sun to the earth. It takes 1.3 seconds for light to travel from the moon to us. We see the moon not as it is, but as it was 1.3 seconds ago. Okay. And then he goes into galactic shit. In 1981, NASA announces that 2 unusual meteorites hit Antarctica, originated from Mars. Then he goes into some other stuff here. Okay. He told you how to use something for protection, the gold octahedron in the violet flame. Okay. I mean, this book, and I think Sister Righteous, Brother Moore can tell you how deep with information this comic book is. Okay. He goes all the way. I mean, he goes into the 1800s, y'all. Okay. Here's the violet energy information. The violet plate. Tesla. This right here is a visualization technique that I have found that works. Okay. You have an atmosphere with clouds in the sun and moon, as above, so below. The clouds represent your thoughts, like in a comic book's thought bubbles. The sun represents your crown or higher self, super consciousness. Visualize any illness or unwanted thoughts coming out your body through a clear cord on the top of the head. The illness can be anywhere in the body. See the illness coming up through the cord and burning up in your sun. Do this as often as you like until the illness has left your body. You can also use this visualization on anyone you wish to help heal. I have used it. I promise you, it works. Use this technique to rid your auric field of any parasites, such as astral spiders, and wipe away the astral webs they create in your auric field. Here's another deprogramming technique that he used. He did a whole class on this called star stepping. And where he got it from was Taoism. Using a violet or white helium balloon with a violet cord or white cord right on it. Visualize any words, event, situation, or person you seek to rid from your life inside the balloon. Allow the balloon to flow away while keeping your eye on it till it disappears. Take note of the direction the balloon goes. Okay. I love how he has Negroes in here. Azazel Bay, rest in power. Like Brother Moore said, fire book. We indeed are programmed to live in the past. I say this all the time myself. That's because you're on a certain frequency. I don't like to brag about my lives here, but the people who do tune into me are the people who think along the same frequencies. So you are operating at a very high frequency. It's a mind warping read. Just like, and Brother Moore told me that when he got it, he couldn't put it down. Just like when I first got it, I took it to bed with. That's how much information is. Some say that the sun and moon are in the atmosphere. It is in the atmosphere. That's another topic that I could speak on for a long time. Is the sun and the moon right in our dome, which the ancients believe, or is it way out there in outer space? How long is that book? It's about 100. Let me see. Let me look. It's 172 pages. Not long at all. You have to go through a mini integration after reading part of that book. The book is fucking deep, y'all. No wonder it says in, I think it's in the second one, he said it took him 30 years to put that book together. 30. You know what I mean? 30. I want to go to one more point by Bobby. One more point by Bobby.
My point is with the Muslim, like you're saying. The Muslim and the Christian that they call ignorant is one and the same. Exactly. Like Dr. Ben said, the only thing you're doing is going from the damn pot to the frying pan. You're going to get burnt either way. You see what I'm saying? Hell, Islam will put you even more on lockdown because they're saying that you can't even use your brain to rationalize shit. That's right. To make any kind of damn sense. You're right, because it is so hard. When I told them about a man by the name of Akhenaten who ruled in the 18th dynasty, who taught the concept of monotheism. Right. They like, Akhenaten, they can't go with that story. They go with the story that the Egyptians always dealt with monotheism when they called the one God and the God one. If you get Eli's Budge book from Fetish to God in ancient Egypt, in his introduction, he said, I wrote the book Gods of the Egyptians 15 years prior to this, and this was like 1935. His last book, he figured it out. He said, but now I understand right in the light of day that they always worship one God and the God one. And they're of different levels with the different attributes of the gods. Just like the Muslims say that Allah has 99 attributes. You see what I'm saying? That's right. Have 99 attributes. That is the explanation of the one God or the God one that they call the hidden God, Amun-Ra. And when I always explain to them that we've been had the Kaaba that represents the spirit and soul, you know, when the goddamn desert Arabs came down into Egypt and started raping us and making us, if you don't say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, if you don't take your shahada in the name of their Allah, they will kill you, man. Islam was forced on us. Now try to tell the people that we've been had something called the Kaaba, and it didn't mean no house of God, no stone. The real Kaaba exists within you. They look at me like I'm fucking crazy. What you're dealing with here is mental illness, because religion is insanity. That's right. Because whenever you try to somehow omit conscious, rational, logical thought of how the world works around you to fit a doctrine of another person's worldview, although it don't make no sense. What happens is the brain, in order to function, it has to go dormant when it comes to the processes of rational thought. So what happens is the process that the brain goes through to give you the real truth, it has to shut down to accept this doctrine.
Ding, 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 ding.
As a result, you become an irrational monster in your thinking because the doctrine that you have accepted, you see what I'm saying, is not a blueprint of your whole life. And what it does is the body has to go dormant and atrophy in certain functions just to support this irrational doctrine. It tells you not to think. Bow down and not to think.
Woo!
And what we don't understand, it was not meant for the indigenous black person. It was meant for a savage white Arab. Just as Christianity was meant for the incoming Europeans or the future Europeans who did not have a history of decent behavior. These are behavioral modification doctrines because these people needed to have this stuff woven into a doctrine on how to behave to keep the nation in check. Whereas we had rites of passages on behavior modification, on behavior, on how to behave in a civilized society that didn't have nothing to do with religion. We learned this shit here as a child.
As a
For
child.
the rest of the doggone time, we learned higher levels of spirituality. But here we are, we copying the white Arab, which this is his particular therapy manual. You see what I'm saying? To somehow root him out of savagery. And now we looking at this as this is the highest principle of the universe.
Did he speak or did he speak? You know what I mean? I like to take a moment of silence for Bobby dropping that knowledge on us the way he did. And when we sit up here, and remember, like I said a week or so ago, that y'all gonna get mad at me, I'm gonna say it anyway. Black women, melanated women, are the standard by which every other woman copies and tries to emulate, from your lips to your behind, everything. And now all you see is sisters wearing blonde weaves and wigs, made them $1 billion a year industry. Now getting these ridiculous BBLs, you know what I'm saying? And wearing a ton of makeup. That's something sisters never had to do. You know what I mean? Never. It's the same thing with this religion, like Bobby just said. You know, but I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into that. But absolutely, sir. It won't even feel like it's long. You can read it in a day, right? It's amazing. Excuse me, sorry about burping. You could have asked me for it, sir. All you had to do was ask me for it. I would have given it to you. But I mean, if you can get it you somewhere, you know, that's cool. But you can ask any of the people that I train, you know, I'm good for giving out extras. Was just watching Bobby on Black Educational Network channel. They got the 8-hour lectures. Yeah, Bobby goes in on some of those lectures. Hit the nail on the head. Religion is mind control programming. You know, it's indoctrinated into children early, similar to racism as pointed out in the doll test. Right. Indoctrinated. That's why I always say all these things that we now believe as adults are programmed into us. Your mother, your actual first programmer. On the astral plane, that's what's up. Let me know how that goes. Sister's the only one who don't understand that. It seems to be that way. You know what I mean? It seems to be that way. You know, I don't mean to offend any of the sisters who may be watching this broadcast, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Definitely would be helpful to get a printer. I know I've been thinking about, okay. One is another book I wanted to share with y'all. Oh, yeah. This one, I think I got everything except this one. I think you should have, if you're operating on this particular frequency, please get this book. It's called Worlds Beyond the Poles. Okay. Worlds Beyond the Poles. Right. Amadio Giannini. I think I have something highlighted here. And it talks about what's beyond Antarctica. Some of the grandmasters have mentioned this book. The following pages contain the first and only description of the realistic universe of land, water, oxygen, and vegetation, where human and other forms of animal life abound. This is not a work of fiction, nor is it a technical analysis of anything. The simple recital of fact which transcends the most elaborate fiction ever conceived. It is diametrically opposed to the assumptions and the mathematical conclusions of theorists and technicians throughout the ages. It is truth. These pages describe the physical land routes from the earth to every land area of the universe about us, which is all land. Some routes extend from beyond the North Pole and South Pole, so-called ends of the earth as decreed by theory. It will here be adequately shown that there are no northern or southern limits to the earth. It will thereby be shown where movement straight ahead from the pole points are and on the same level as the earth permits of movement into celestial land areas appearing up or out from the earth. Lands beyond the poles, y'all. Stop believing what the media tells you. Read for yourself. Okay? Read for yourself. I've been on that subject heavy lately. The woman wearing hair hats is an example of what is shown by the doll test experiment. Black babies pointed to the darker baby doll when asked to pick which was the bad, mean baby. They did it. Dr. Khalid Muhammad pointed that out. He said there's been so much damage done. He said this on the Phil Donahue show in the 90s. He said there's so much damage done from a programming. A black woman, a black girl, a little melanated baby will point to a darker doll or something like that and say that that's the mean one, that's the ugly one, that's the cruel one, or whatever. That's the bad one. So much programming. Like somebody asked me last week, what would be the purpose of the U's trying to keep us down and keeping oppressed? There's one of the reasons. You know what I mean? What am I trying to say? 1921. Oklahoma, 1921. What was that? What happened in 1921, y'all? The bombing of something Oklahoma. The bombing of Black Wall Street. I forget what the why is it escaping me right now? But I can't remember. But it begins with a T. But that wasn't the only massacre, race-related massacre. Tulsa, thank you. That wasn't the only race-related massacre. There were others. Some in Delaware, North Carolina. They happen all over the United States. That's the only one that they choose to tell you about. But that's not the only one. You know what I mean? It's not the only one. This is why magical knowledge and knowledge in general is power. Once you know certain things, you act differently, you think differently, and you interact with other people differently. See what I'm saying? I don't know why I usually can say that off the top of my head. It was escaping me. Tulsa, Oklahoma, which they showed. If you watch Watchmen, Regina King series, there's so much information put on that. And the first episode, the very first episode, they show you Tulsa, Oklahoma, and show you what happened. It's a dramatization, of course, but I was floored when I saw that. I was like, wow, they're actually showing what they did. You know what I mean? Last episode of an anime, Hector explains Arasil, the weird tree, and lands outside the ice wall. As soon as I heard it, I knew they was telling the truth. Yeah, and I keep telling people, anime, they show so much. Something strange up there. I know. I should have not, that name, that word should have never escaped me like that. The world is bigger than we have been told. They show you part of that. Well, I was surprised when somebody told me, check out Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. While I'm still on that subject, check out Josie and the Pussycats, Rosario Dawson. They made it entertaining as hell. Okay. They have different ways of programming. Just saw an update of the dial test, still the same reactions. The same, y'all hear them? Y'all see that? Same reactions. They saw there's an update and there's still the same reactions. Mind control program. Oh, y'all was trying to, okay, yeah, CERN, right. Yes, the Watchmen show was telling it all. That one season, and then the other one, Lovecraft Country. You know what I mean? What I loved about Lovecraft Country is they were showing us our power, how we could command things and use them against racism and everything else that oppresses us. Right? The World Beyond the Poles is interested in my kind of genre. I'm going to get that one. Send me an email. I will share. And that is it for me today. Thanks you so much. I always appreciate all of y'all who come to join me. You could be doing something else. You choose to join me here. Hear me vent for an hour. See y'all next week. Y'all enjoy the rest of the day. and the rest of the weekend. I will see y'all Tuesday, Mars Day. All right. I think next week is spring break too. Okay. Don't forget, Cosmic Comics is available now. I think that's the only announcements I have today. Okay. I'm the one and only. There's only one. The diabolical one, Magickal. As I greet you in peace, as I always do, namaste. Peace, y'all.